the Reclaim Your Edge podcast, where we talk about real moments people lose their sharpness and the decisions that help them get them back. I'm Adam Alexander, and in each episode, I sit down with experts from different professions and people with real stories. And we're going to unpick what's happening beneath the surface, what is costing them, and also what you can do about it as well. So we're going to have no hype, no fluff, just honest conversations and practical takeaways that you can use immediately. Today, I am joined by Petra Fürst from Soulmate Coaching, who helps women create healthy, lasting relationships to break down why so many people lose their edge in love and what it takes to rebuild confidence, boundaries, and real connection. So let's get into it. Petra, thank you for coming on today. I've been really looking forward to this one. I've really been looking forward to this one. So Petra, before we get into it, like in your own words, like just introduce yourself and, just give us a little bit over, what is Soulmate Coaching?
Okay. Well, thank you so much for inviting me to your podcast, Adam. It is an absolute honor. And to everyone listening, yes, I do have a German accent. So well, I'm trying my best. Soulmate Coaching. I founded Soulmate Coaching in the year 2011. So we have been on the market for 15 years now. In the German-speaking countries, we are now slowly entering English-speaking markets. But what we have always been doing is supporting women to find their soulmate. But we are not a matchmaking business, we are a coaching business. So we help them change their beliefs, we help them heal from past relationships, from traumas, and we help them with dating, and we help them attract the person that they can build a fulfilling relationship with.
Nice. And that's the thing. It's like you say, is that, you've been, you are German and you're in the German market. Okay. That's the thing. It's like, you're probably thinking, well, why are we speaking to, like, how are we getting contact? Well, we used to be neighbors as well, didn't we?
We did.
That's it. Right. So just having that conversation, it's like, just there, and we can see the similarities. Again, it's like you said, something there is about people losing like their beliefs. Right, around the relationships, and that's a key thing, like that loss of belief, then that loss of edge, and then it then just all then it just continues, right? So for you, like from your experience, like 15 years, like what would you say like the biggest patterns that quietly start to sabotage relationships?
I mean, there is a lot. There is really a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is more complex than most people think. People think, oh, I just need to improve my communication, or we just need to be more open, or we need to work on our intimate life. But that's all surface level. What is really happening is that we have been programmed we have been programmed as little kids to have an idea or like an attraction to a certain kind of person and a certain kind of dynamic in a relationship. So the programming is so deep that we don't even realize that we are most of the time are reliving our childhood situation. So we when your relationship imprint is the first imprint you get as a child. You are born, the first thing you experience is someone taking care of me if I need them? Is there physical contact? Are my emotions validated or are they not? Am I accepted the way I am, or am I criticized? So this is like your first imprint. And this is something that happens on an unconscious level because you don't have language. So you cannot process it. And that's why people don't have access to this imprint, because there is no language. There are not even memories of the first few years. It's only a feeling in your nervous system, and your nervous system gets programmed. And then, of course, you pick up on the energies that your mom and dad have, and the people that are around you. And this is actually what you recreate later. But then you don't know it. You think like, oh, like I'm attracted to this kind of person. And then you wonder why it always is like, it's not satisfying. You're not like happy, you're not fulfilled, but you're still stuck with this person because you're recreating your childhood system basically without knowing it. And then people try to be better communicators or like work on themselves on the surface, and they don't get the results that they want. And then they break up with a person, find a new one, and the same thing starts again. So
Spirals, right?
you are repeating and repeating and repeating. It's a person in a different body, but it's the same system, it's the same dynamic. So this is actually the main problem. And that's why, I mean, people know so much cognitive. On a cognitive level, people can tell you about commitment styles and the love languages, and they can tell you all that on a cognitive level. But relationship doesn't happen on a cognitive level, it happens on an emotional, physical level. And that's like why we need to go so deep when we do coaching. Like we go really deep, and we go, like we go to reprogram this pattern. Otherwise, like you don't have a chance of, like how should you with the same program attract a new relationship? You can't.
No, again, because like you said, it's like you go from one relationship into the next one, and then the same thing is happening again because, well, you think, well, hang on, it's a new person, it should be different. But if you haven't changed those beliefs of yourself, then everything is still going to repeat itself. Is that basically what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. And that's not only in relationships. I mean, when you look at like everybody, when you look at yourself, like you can see like you have like recurring themes, like in health, like
business, health, everything, right?
Everywhere. Like I had a client who I worked with years ago, and he also had like one of his, I usually work only with women, that was an exception, but he had one of his goals was fitness as well. And like he came back 5 years later and he's like, I want a six-pack. And I'm like, okay, wait a second. 21, you also said you want a six-pack. Why are we still talking about the same thing, Yeah, because he has a pattern. There's something, like he's repeating and repeating and repeating the same thing. And that's the same in business and relationships and with money and with everything.
Yeah. And that's why that's why I'm smiling now. And also why I was like, you know what, Petra, I want to get her on this, because everything intertwines, right? Like with what I do, where I improve people's health and all of that, these people are always in the same cycle. It's just like for me and what you do, it's just repackaged differently.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
That's the thing.
I mean, and then, and they want to lose weight, they try a new diet or a new sport. But it's like, they always looking on the surface level. Oh, let me try CrossFit. Maybe that helps. No, it doesn't. Oh, then I'm going to do yoga. No, it doesn't. Okay, let me go keto. Doesn't help. Like, it's like, because like, it's so much deeper.
That's it. Exactly. So like you say that your program, you work with women. Okay. Now, do you find like, again, women and that, like, at what point is it that they come to you?
Usually at age 40 plus. Like usually, like we have younger clients, but most of our clients are 40, 50, 60, 70. Our oldest client was 83.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Amazing. And he managed to find a boyfriend who was 85.
Really? That's amazing. But again, that just shows you that it's never too late, doesn't it?
No, but online dating doesn't work for people 80 plus. Yeah. So we send them to church, to the opera, to, like different, like the online dating 80 plus, I wouldn't do online dating.
No. But what similarities then do these people have? Like, even though you've got like that big age range, like what, like there must be some similarities that these people all have.
Yeah.
What would you say that is?
I mean, like it is basically, you mean like why they end up being single at that age, or
at any, like at any age, like you said it always comes from a fundamental from their upbringing and all of that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there's two main ways, you know, people handle like dysfunctional relationships. One way to handle a dysfunctional relationship is to stay in it as long as you can, endure the pain, push through, focus on other things, you know, and just don't look at it as long as you can. And then until something happens, like either the other person leaves, or, you know, someone, like there's a betrayal or something big happens, and then like you wake up and you leave. So this is one type of client that we get, who was maybe married for 20 years in a toxic relationship, but that doesn't mean that the other person was toxic. Maybe they both created a toxic relationship, recreated from, you know, childhood patterns. Or the other type of person is a person that recreates, that has this attraction to just people who, like, you know, people bring their nervous system into the relationship and their story. So, and then we are attracted to something similar to our childhood. I don't want to repeat myself too much
no,
about
no,
this
no, 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 yeah,
point.
no.
So we're attracted to a certain type of nervous system, okay? And so then we're attracted to this person. So the other type is someone who gets attracted to basically the wrong person, recreates some drama for some time, and then leaves, and then tries again and leaves again, and tries again and leaves again. So that's the other type of person. Like, you either stay in it until you can't anymore, or you constantly leave because you notice it's wrong, but you cannot create something better. And then some of our clients give up at a point and just focus on career and just don't have any relationship at all, because they just, you know, like they
They
it's too
block it
much
away. Yeah, that's
blocked
it.
away. It's like,
Yeah,
I don't have time. I have to, like,
no.
you know, I have to do this career move first, or I have to raise my children first, and then maybe. So that's like the three different types that come
Now,
to.
now, do you feel that some people that, like, when they come to you, that they feel a sense of failure, like
Yes,
when they
massive,
come to you?
massive, massive, massive. It's really, that's a huge thing. They feel like total failures. They think they are too old. They will never find anyone. They think it's just not happening for them. It might be happening for other people, but just not for me. They think they are too much. They think they are not enough. They are like very, very close to giving up hope, but they haven't, because that's why they come and get coaching. So there's something inside them still hoping that it is possible, but they are exhausted, they are frustrated, they are sad. It's yeah.
Now, so for those people that are experiencing all of those emotions and feelings that you just said, it's like, how does that show up? Like, how can that show up for that person? Like, what impact could that have on that person?
I mean, all kinds of things, you know. First of all, mental health. So just not feeling fulfilled, not feeling happy. It's just like a little thing nagging at you, you know, like just something taking away like parts of your energy, of your radiance, you know, like not. And then they sometimes punish themselves, you know, they don't, like, okay, they like, their self-talk is like, you're a failure, so you don't get to do this and that. So, you know, just like, it's like they reduce the life to basic survival in a way, you know, like they don't live life anymore, because they're like, okay, then just like, let's do the work, let's clean the house, and let's just like go day by day and function. So they lose their spark, you know, that's like something like that's how it shows. Then other people might, you know, overeat, or like just have, you know, develop extreme focus on other areas of life. It could be extreme focus on business, could be extreme focus on sports or friendships or hobbies. So they just keep themselves busy so that they don't have to face like their loneliness and face the face their emotions. So that's happening. Some people get sick, you know, physically sick, because like at some point, you know, like the body is going to, especially at like 40, 50, 60 plus. I mean, you know, when you're 20, you know, like your body is strong, you can do whatever. But like at mid-age, like you start feeling it, and then you have hormonal problems, other physical problems.
Yeah. So again, it's like you can see that, like for some people on the surface level, like you're saying, it's just a relationship. Whatever. I just put myself into work. But even then, even those people, it's still up here, and then it's then just pulling and just playing away. So would you say then that some people, when they come to you, their self-worth is quite low?
Yes. Yeah.
And what about their boundaries, like for their own self? Do you think that some of their own boundaries for their own personal, for themselves, that they're compromised, or
I mean, most people have that problem, even people in relationships, like
or
knowing your boundaries.
mm,
Like, how do you know your boundaries? Like, I don't know many people who grew up in a family that healthy, where it was okay to express boundaries as a kid and be respected for that, and also having role models. Like boundaries is a quite new concept. If you ask your parents about what are your boundaries, they're going to be like, what are you talking
what?
about?
Yeah,
What do you
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah,
what is
yeah.
this? Like, what do you mean? So we have not seen that, and so it's a very new concept, and people don't know. They don't even know like what are their values, so they don't know what is important to them in a relationship. When we ask people what's important to you in a relationship, like there's a 1 minute silence. There's 1 minute like yeah, I don't know, attractive person, yeah, okay, but like what else, like, so they don't even know what they want. And then if you don't know what you want, if you don't know like who you are, how do you know where your boundaries are? And we work with women, and women usually have more a problem feeling their own boundaries because they have been taught to be compliant, to be nice, to like constantly regulate others. So that's a big thing. We have all learned to regulate others. How do I make my mom and my dad feel good? How do I behave at school so the teacher doesn't get mad at me? How do I like, women, how do I act around my friends so that they like feel good? Women constantly look like, how do I make everyone feel safe and good? But they don't know, how do I make myself feel safe and good? So we know how to regulate everyone else, but not ourselves.
Apart from the most important person to yourself, you don't,
Exactly.
doing that, right? You
Exactly.
know,
Nobody knows. Yeah.
and this is the thing. It's like it's interesting what you said there, because with what you were just saying, I just thought about, like our daughter, my little one, and I started to see that already. You know, she would, like she would say something, but then she catches herself, and then she goes, "Oh no, but I already know what the answer is going to be," and she changes it, or "Oh no, don't worry, like it won't make you happy," and I'm like, "Hang on a second, no, it's like no, stop, like say it," and then she goes, "Oh no, no." So she, even at the age of 5,
Mm.
there you can see that behavior already.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like you say, it comes from self-worth already. So yeah. So for people coming to you, what would you say is like the first thing that they then work on? Because they're not going to start going, as soon as someone comes to you, then you're not going to go out and start looking,
No.
for love straight away, are you?
No. Mm-mm.
Because then no, because that's pointless, because the behaviors are still going to be there. So
Exactly. That wouldn't work
yeah,
now.
yeah.
No. So we have a very specific like program developed over the years. Since we work with thousands of people, and we have a team of coaches that is working with our customers, and we always start with healing. But what we do now, and that is very unique, we are the only relationship coaching company that does that. We have a success guarantee. So we actually guarantee our customers, our clients, that they will have a fulfilling relationship at the end of the coaching program. And everybody pays the same price. It's a one-time payment. And then we work with people until they have the relationship. For some people, it might take 6 months. For some people, it might take 18 months.
Yeah.
But that we don't care. We're going to stay with you until you have your relationship. So like we give because we know how it works, and we want to create this safe space for women and for our customers, because there's so much coaching online and so much coaching, and usually coaching is a hit or miss. Yeah, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, like. So but we believe in our clients. We believe that everyone can have a fulfilling relationship. We believe in our methods. We believe in our coaches. We believe in our program, and we know like how to get them there. So that's why we have success guarantee.
That's great.
So yeah, and then we do what it takes. So we, like every person gets their individual program. We have elements, but it is individualized. So it's not like not everybody goes through the same process, but everybody starts with healing. Everybody starts with these childhood wounds, this childhood programming, with their values, with their boundaries, with their self-worth, with self-love. Everybody starts there. And usually we take 3 months on just working on the person, and then we start dating. Unless someone wants to start earlier, and it's no problem for us, but like we have like the focus, and most people don't want to start anyways because
No,
they are
no, no.
scared of dating.
Scared. Yeah, exactly.
They don't want to, they are like, most of them don't even want to do dating. They want to do coaching but no dating. So we have a contract where they actually sign that they're going on dates later. Because otherwise they want to sit at home and work on themselves, and then never go out. So they have to go out and meet people. But yeah, but everybody starts with healing, and then we do dating.
Nice, nice.
Hmm.
That's great. That is great. Again, you got to fix it before you can then start going out, and just having that contract written that they will go on dates. That would be great. Like you said about the lady in her 80s. I just got this image. Like, I think that's great. That's really cool. That is really cool.
And she
So
was quite quick. She was one of our faster clients, I
yeah,
have to say. Like, I mean, because she was all in. She's like, I mean, how many years do I have left, and how do I want,
exactly.
you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, but that's true, right? Again, people, they put it off. They put it off until it's like, I need to do something now, don't they? A bit
Yeah,
like you were just saying about, if people in a relationship, they put off that communication with their partner until it's a big enough monster that it's like, no, like we need to have it, and it's happened.
yeah,
That time there, but it's it. Now you're talking about people that are going out and finding love.
yeah.
What about those people that are already in that relationship, but they feel that that they are moving slightly apart? You know,
Hmm.
like what would you say to those people?
Hmm. I mean, we rarely have people who are in relationships. We have some, but it is the same principle. It is the same technique. Because, like, what is causing, like, if people are moving, if you notice that you're moving apart, you're already quite late in the process. Because then there's already like a disconnect. You're already telling yourself, oh, we are different. Maybe we're not good match. Like you already have thoughts. And like, so we do the same thing. Basically, we go back to the imprint. Like, what is it about like, how have you created this relationship? What is similar to your childhood? Like, how are you showing up like your mom or your dad? How is your partner showing up in a similar way? So we have to go back and heal this first. And then, interestingly, the person's behavior changes. You change. When you heal this, when you wake up and you're like, wait a second, I'm like my mom, I'm playing small, or I'm criticizing too much. I'm like my dad, I'm criticizing constantly, whatever, like when you notice this, and you can disrupt this pattern and change your own behavior, then the whole relationship changes. The reactions of the partner change. And then you can still, reevaluate, is this the right partner? Is this going where I want to go, or is it not? Sometimes it's not. Sometimes people have chosen each other and it was a wrong choice sometimes, because, both people have to be open to grow the relationship. If one person says, no, I don't want to change. I don't want to look at myself and like you can't, you can't. It's not like one person cannot carry the relationship alone.
No. They
Has to
both
be
have to go in the same direction, right?
same. They both have to heal separately from each
No,
other.
yeah, but
And then have a shared direction, have a goal, and in long relationship it is normal that you have these phases. It is really normal. So it's not that there's nothing wrong with a relationship only because there's maybe a year or 2 years where you're like less close. If you like work on it, if you put the work in it, it can be actually even can like you can create more trust and more closeness because you overcame a hard time together.
that's it. But the work, when you say work though, it's to work on yourself, isn't it? That's the work that you have to do,
cannot,
right?
you cannot work on your partner.
No, that's it.
People would like to, so how can I make him change? Like
Yeah,
what,
exactly.
like no,
No, it
like
doesn't work like that.
nah, that's not the solution. Is not to change the other person until the person fits your idea, because that's not going to work. Like you have to actually work on yourself, on your communication, in your nervous system. And there is like, a lot happens when we down regulate the nervous system. A lot of changes happen in communication. There's less triggers, there's more calmness, there's more understanding, there's more empathy. So there is a lot that can be done in a very short time with the right techniques.
Yeah, nice. So for people that are watching that are like, you know what, I feel that they've been through many relationships and they've noticed that same pattern over and over again. Like what's like the first thing that they could do to make them, for that little bit of work on themselves? Like what would you say to that person?
I mean, something that everyone can do is really down regulating your nervous system. That is something that is easy to do. It only is something that you need to do constantly. But
So
this
when you say, sorry, Petra, like when you
Yeah.
say like this, like I know what you mean when you say down regulate your nervous system. I know I know what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
But like if someone's like down regulate your nerve, like what are you chatting about? Like could explain like what does that mean?
Yeah, so your nervous system like runs the show. Okay. So it makes most people have very hyper overactive nervous system. You can tell, like they are easily stressed. They like, like they talk fast. They're like, like they are easily triggered, and they need something like food or alcohol or whatever to like relax. Okay. That if you're in that state, like it means your nervous system is like completely out, like it shouldn't be like that. So the first thing everyone can do is down regulate through, for example, breath work. This is super, super easy. And sounds so easy that people are like, that's it? Really? But like you have to try it to see how it works. And the easiest breath work you can do is like breathe in 4 counts, breathe out on 6 counts. Do this for 6-7 minutes, 3 times a day. Or do it when you notice your partner is stressed, or you're going on a date, or something triggers you before you go and eat a chocolate or go on Instagram. If you notice these are the triggers, like, oh, let me go on Instagram and distract myself. No, like when you notice this urge, then just do the breath work first, and you will see you don't want the chocolate anymore. You don't want Instagram anymore, because then you are calm. But this is something you have to do it on a regular basis, because your system has been trained over decades to constantly overreact and to rely on external things to be calm. So now you need to reprogram it. And that is the first thing everyone can do. Absolutely everyone can do that. You don't need like an expensive coach to do that. You can do it by yourself,
Yeah, that's it. So you're saying the first thing that someone can do to reclaim their edge, just in general, right? Because like even if you're looking at getting in a relationship, or even if it's just just improving yourself, is to work on your own nervous system.
On your own
Just
system,
calm it down, right? Again,
Exactly.
like anyone can relate to that. You know, like anyone working in the city, any parent, anyone can, because again, like you say, you're like they just get overstressed, overstimulated.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
That's
I mean, we have seen that with many clients. There is like one interesting story. One person was in a toxic relationship, but didn't, like couldn't get out of it. Was like kind of stuck in a toxic cycle. And there is actually even a medical procedure to calm the nervous system. It's called stellate ganglion block. So this you go to the anesthesiologist and they like put a needle in your neck and they numb the sympathetic nervous system. And then you're calm. And this person ended the toxic relationship within a week after the procedure, but was in it years. But like when the system was calm, she was like, wait a second, that's not right. He's not treating me well. He was, emotionally abusive and all kinds of things. So she was like, no, the moment her system was calm, she was able to leave. I mean, having a medical procedure is a big thing. You do that when it's like really, when
that's
yeah,
it.
it's a really bad, even really in a bad place. This is like, but you can also calm yourself down with breath work or walking barefoot. I mean, you can't do that in England and in Germany so much, but like, that's not like an option. Sunlight is also not an option there.
No.
So like you have to do something else to breath work, and cold plunges, cold showers, cryotherapy. Cold is good to actually help your nervous system. Yeah, I mean, like that's the number one thing everyone can do, and that's basically for free, is breath work and cold showers.
Yeah. That's also part of my program as well. Like when I work with my clients as well, like we get breath work in as well straight away in the morning.
Yeah.
You do that, it then calms them down before they then start, looking at work and being flooded by all the cortisol coming in and stimulus it's like, let's get you calm first. So then you can then approach it properly.
Yeah. And of course, it makes sense in weight loss because a lot of weight is cortisol weight.
Exactly.
Yeah, that you just lose by calming yourself down. You don't even need to do like anything else.
That's it. And what happens when people get triggered?
Exactly.
They eat, they drink, they do drugs, they do whatever, right? And that's what happens, and that's it. So, but again, it's like you said, that lady that had that medical procedure, she was just in that cycle, wasn't she? And when you're in that cycle, you can't see what's going on because you're in that cycle.
Exactly.
So then by her having that break of her her nervous system being able to relax, gives you that clarity. It's like, shit, like this is actually going on.
Exactly.
So then again, that cycle, she's then got that space to then look at her own behaviors and all of that. So then she can then work on herself to then move forwards.
Exactly. And like in her case, I mean, it was necessary to leave because this would not have, like we cannot, like, as I said, not everybody wants to change. So in this situation, leaving was a good option. But for other people, just with like doing the breath work, and then like they are in the relationship, and then all of a sudden, like they notice, oh, my partner is stressed, he's angry, for example. I just calm myself down because our nervous systems, they communicate with each other constantly. So like if your nervous system is agitated, like it will rub off onto your partner, and then your partner gets like, and they react, So like at the moment you notice, oh, your husband is coming home or your wife is coming home, they are stressed, they are angry, down regulate yourself, just breathe. And then you get more distance, and then you see and then you don't overreact, you don't take it personal anymore. All of a sudden you're like, oh, it's not about me, they had a bad day, or it's just their system is overreacting, but it's not me. So you're not triggered, you can react calmly. And that is amazing for the other person, because like usually they come home, they are stressed, you guys they start a fight, like, and then it goes on and it's always the same. But all of a sudden you like the other person is calm and it's like, okay, like and then your calmness actually expands onto the other person.
That's it.
So it's fantastic. It is so simple, but it is, but you have to do it right. It's like you have to be consistent. This is not a one-time thing. Totally not. No, it's like it's a every day, multiple times a day, until your system really learns to relax. And then, it becomes a new pattern, new behavior pattern after a few months.
That's it. That's it. That's it. So again, in a nutshell, okay, so the people come to you because they want to find a partner.
Yeah.
But before they can find a partner, they need to do the work on themselves.
Definitely. Because otherwise they're gonna find the same partner again, and they don't need us for that.
No.
Because then just go out and do the same thing.
Yeah.
But if you want a better relationship, something you never experienced before, deeper connection, and someone who is aligned with your values and your vision, then it makes sense to really first, cleanse, your nervous system, your unconscious mind, and reprogram, and then start all over again, but this time consciously with intention. That's the thing, it's a different type of dating. And that's why I think when people think they are too old, they're the perfect age. 40, 50, 60 is the perfect age, because you have wisdom, you know who you are, you know what you don't like, it is the perfect age to find actually the right person.
Yeah, that's it. And you know yourself more as a person as well, don't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. Petra, I feel like we could be here all day talking about this. Again, it's been great. So Petra, if people wanted to find out more about you and what you do in Soulmate Coaching, what's the best place that they can get in contact with you?
Yeah. So the best place is my website. It's soulmatecoaching.com. So we do have an English website. We're starting now. But I have to say, for English speaking, I don't have coaches trained yet, because I train the coaches myself. It's a 1-year program. It's 300 hours of training. They learn hypnosis. They learn all kinds of things, and they learn our Soulmate Coaching framework. So I will train English speaking coaches this year in 2026. Until then, people can only work with me personally. If they want to do one-on-one work, they can reach out through our website. And a not so good place is YouTube, but because YouTube does automatic AI translations of all my videos.
Oh, amazing.
So you can watch it in English. It just sounds a little bit robotic, and voice and face doesn't match because YouTube AI is not that good yet. So I find it annoying, but I hear a lot of people here in the US watch my videos with robot voice, and they like it actually. So
That's fine. That's fine.
that's an option.
Great. And your YouTube channel, what is it? Is that Soulmate Coaching as well?
It's my name. When you type in my name, Petra Fürst, and you find it. You could try Soulmate Coaching. It should work as well.
Yeah. Great. Nice one. Well, Petra, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on and just discussing this. Again, it's just finding out how people can lose their edge, but then also, most importantly, how they can actually get their edge back.
Yeah.
And again, right, as as you've just explained, on this, that they have to do the work on themselves, so then they can then find that edge when finding a relationship.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
Nice
Yeah,
one.
everyone can do that. There's no reason that a person cannot, create a fulfilling relationship. Everyone can do it.
Yeah, that's great. And doesn't matter what age you are, as you've already given proof that even in your 80s you can find love.
We had everything. It doesn't matter the age, it doesn't matter your size, it doesn't matter how many children you have, or if you had never had children. It doesn't matter, because you will, there is a person out there for you.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you. So everyone, if something today has hit home, don't just nod along and go, oh, that's nice. Pick it, and also Take action within the next 24 hours. And that is how your edge will come back. Like Petra explained beautifully, it's about breath work. Just taking that time each day just to deregulate your nervous system. So then you can then come to look and approach the day with from a place of clarity. So if you found this useful today, please follow along and watch the other episodes, and also share it with someone that you feel that could actually do with listening to this episode as well. And that's the fastest way that we're going to be able to help people. If you want to connect with me as well, I'm Adam Alexander. So please look me up on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and also on YouTube. And I will see you in our next episode.